listen, it's interesting about all these young guys today. They never call on us and say, hey, thanks for the kind word and tell me how great a player I am. But when they play like crap and we call them out, we don't know what we're talking about. Listen, I'm easy to find, but I get sick of these guys complaining. These young guys, they never call us and say, when a coach is wrong, I'm going to call him out. But when players are wrong, I'm going to call them out. But listen, I'm going to criticize guys that they deserve it. And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.
What's up, YouTube? It's Nathan back with another video presentation. Happy Taco Tuesday. I hope you guys are all well. Hope you're all staying safe. I'm sorry. I'm learning not to play that clip, but every time I play it, it's funnier. And I'll explain why. I get to that in a little bit. But bringing into the video, there's a few things. I did an intro video earlier today that should already be up. I already talked about what wasn't in this video. I'm recapping week 6 in the NFL, recapping the Ravens and the Washington football team. I'm going to talk about the preview real quick. The Washington Wizards play the Toronto Raptors. And then some other things around the NBA, particularly with Ben Simmons. And also to the first 25 players for the top 75 greatest players, because this season is the 75th season for the NBA. So it's really good to see it get recognized for sure. Ray, what's good, bro? Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope the family's doing well, sir. I'm gonna start with week 6. So a lot of my guarantees were wrong. So obviously I said the Buccaneers were going to beat the Eagles. I didn't expect the game to be that close. The final score was 28-22. The Jacksonville Jaguars got their first W in the lovely city of London, England, against the Miami Dolphins, 23-20. The Cincinnati Bengals beat the Detroit Lions 34-11. The Green Bay Packers beat the Chicago Bears. That actually was an interesting game. Aaron Rodgers definitely has definitely the last word. What's up? What's going on? We're going to talk about the Colts. I guaranteed that when I got that right, they were going to beat the Texans. For 3 quarters, didn't get it done here. Did not get it. The first 3 quarters had the Ravens beat and then let it go in the 4th quarter. The Kansas City Chiefs and Washington football team, will talk about that. The Ravens and the Chiefs, will talk about that. The Rams demolished the Giants 38-11. A great overtime win by the Vikings to beat the Panthers 34-28. Those Arizona Cardinals are they going now 6-7-0 now against the Cleveland Browns. The Las Vegas Raiders, beat the Denver Broncos. The Dallas Cowboys beat the New England Patriots in overtime.
Congratulations! Oh my God.
And the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Seahawks last Sunday night. Good wins. So I'm going to talk about both games, Sunday Night Football game and the Monday Night Football game in a second. But I definitely want to start off with the painful. I'm going to start with Washington. So the final score was 31, Kansas City, Washington 13. I don't really know where to begin. Well, first and foremost, I thought it was really, really embarrassing Well, first and foremost, I it was great to see Sean Taylor's family there. Um, his jersey got retired. His number got retired. I just felt like it was for all the wrong reasons. That should not have happened. I mean, it's particularly with what's going on in Washington right now. I feel like the timing of this is too suspicious. I think this is Daniel Snyder trying to move the pendulum and get all, saying, well, look, I care about my team. Let's retire this man's jersey number. There's Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, Sean Taylor, arguably, in my personal opinion, the three best safeties in the game. What could have been a Hall of Fame career. He was on pace to be a Hall of Famer. Yes, definitely. The most memorable memory of mine for Sean Taylor was that Pro Bowl game where he knocked that punter out of bounds. But that punter got back up though. But Sean Taylor, man, rest in peace. I'm glad to see his number was retired. He's one of my favorite players. It's just sad that happened to him. I thought it was also disrespectful that Patrick Mahomes' brother was dancing on his logo, and apparently he said that they were led into that area, and
bullshit.
I don't buy that. I mean, his brother's been really getting away with a lot of BS. I know when they played the Ravens, he threw beverages on people and stuff like that. Really, he's really getting away with a lot of stuff, and it needs to be checked, in my personal opinion. But as far as the game went, for Kansas City, they looked except for a few mishaps, they definitely moved the ball consistently. In the first half, again, there was miscues that did limit to them their scoring opportunities. Particularly in the red zone, I think it was the dropped interception, and then Patrick Mahomes decided to just throw it in the air, and then it was an interception for sure. He threw for 397 yards, 2 touchdowns. Clyde Taylor is on IR, and Darrell Williams got the start. He had 62. He had rushed the ball for 62 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, we've been kind of looking for them a little bit. They both combined for 17 catches and 175 yards. Demarcus Robinson also had 3 catches. The offensive line did its job. Chase Young got a sack. The defensive line actually looked a little better. Frank Clark and Jaron Reed got to the pressured 7 times. Tyshawn Wharton, and that pass that Taylor threw right to him. From last week, I think they got embarrassed by Buffalo. Kansas City only allowed 70, gave up 72 yards. So big improvements for sure on the side of Kansas City. Washington, Tyler Heineke really did not find rhythm and we did not take advantage of turnovers. In my opinion, I think he threw 61% of his passes for 182 yards. He had a touchdown, and then obviously that interception. I liked we got the running game was really good. Antonio Gibson, he did have I want to say it was a shin or leg injury. The running game was pretty good. McKissick had 110 yards. And obviously, he also had 65 yards in receiving. But as far as our wide receivers and Terry McLaurin had 28 receiving yards. Ricky Seals-Jones was the only offensively wide receiver tight end that had over 50 receiving yards. and and he scored the touchdown. I mean, now I will say this: we didn't allow a sack in this game at all, which I'm really proud of. We didn't allow that. I told you, um, Lucas, Leno Jr., Eric Flowers, that offensive line, to me, I think it did its job. Um, I just think, we just didn't take the opportunity when the opportunities were given to us. Um, Again, I'm going to keep giving defense. I'm giving the defense some love. Jonathan Allen, Darren Payne, they definitely did a good job. They pressured Mahomes, even though they didn't get to him at all. Chase Young, like I said, they have one sack. Cole Holcomb and Jamin Davis played really great. Had 5 defensive stops. Missed tackles, that's part of the game. I'm not going to dog them for that. However, I will say this: they allowed combined both. It was 5 receptions for 72 yards and 4 first downs. Not bad. I think that's improvement. But again, I think we just got to take it game by game, in my opinion. The secondary, yes, did have 2 interceptions, but again, I keep saying this: when defensively, when you prepare for the Kansas City Chiefs, you're not just preparing for Patrick Mahomes. You're preparing for Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Miko Hardman, DeMarcus Robinson. You're preparing for those guys, and we struggled to contain them in the open field. We allowed 251 yards, and then Landon Collins was targeted the most, where it was just not a really good day for the secondary. Going into this game, I really thought Washington, I felt like had all, to me, Washington was going to win this game, just because looking at Kansas City, how they got shellacked in Buffalo, they're one of the defensively, they're just not a good team. But something just kept telling me, even going into Sunday, like, it's Patrick Mahomes, and don't sleep on that offense. And I didn't sleep on them. I just felt like Washington could take advantage of it, and that just it sucks. It really does. So now we now fall to 2-4 on the year, and meanwhile you got the Dallas Cowboys that have probably the most easiest schedule because of last year. They're now 5-1. We're tied for second with the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not ready to go to DEFCON just yet. I'm not really hit the panic button, but I would really, really want to see Ron Rivera as a coach just say we have to do better. It starts. I just really think it's. I'm not sure if guys are just not falling in line with the plan. Is it style of play? I really don't know, because like going into this season, everyone arguably said we had the best defense in the league, and looking at us offensively, we're not top 5. When I say we're top 15 offense, in my opinion. And then to just kind of see these last few weeks, you see improvements, don't get me wrong, but it's like when it comes to execution, I'm just not seeing that. And I don't know what it's really going to take for us to get to that point. Like, I'm not walking back on Washington because I'm not going to walk back on Washington saying they're not going to make the playoffs. I still believe they are, but we've got the Packers next, and it's at Lambeau Field. Oh my God! And then we got Denver on the road. Tom Brady comes to DC, Carolina, Seattle, Oakland, Dallas. At some point, we've got to pick it up. We really do. But let me just say this. I think I'm going to go out on a limb here. I do believe that the Washington football team are going to bring the same intensity that the Cincinnati Bengals brought against Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers.
Guaranteed.
Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next one. This was well. Hold on, before I get into that, the Baltimore Ravens, they beat the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. It still takes a minute to say Los Angeles. The final score was 34-6. Ravens.
I'm not going to even sit here and act like I didn't know this was coming, or act like I know this was coming because I did it.
I did not expect that. I kind of expected a shootout. I expected more along the lines of like 34-27 Ravens. The first few possessions, Lamar got hot, went 7-8, 56 yards in the opening quarter, even though he, 12-19, 111 yards, a touchdown and 2 picks. Again, I keep emphasizing the drops. Like, I can't stress this enough, people. Like, I can see why Keith Williams, T. Martin really emphasizing practice guys catching using, practicing with the soccer ball, learning how to catch with the soccer ball. Because these drops are just disgusting. Devontae Freeman, Latavius Murray. Murray went down with an injury. They both had 9 carries. Rashard Bateman looked, his first game back, he did have 4 catches, 29 yards. Mark Andrews had 6 catches. The offensive line, yes, we gave up 2 sacks. Bradley Bozeman, Alejandro Villanueva, they gave up the sacks. Defensively, Justin Houston was the only lineman that had a sack, which is now 98.5 sacks, which is good for him. Should be, in my personal opinion, should be a Hall of Famer. Patrick Queen, I just think personally he's just doing too much, and I think he just has to play Patrick Queen football. From what I know, he was at LSU. I just think he's just doing too much. I think that's why you're seeing the struggles. I just think I agree with what Martindale was saying. I just think he's just doing too much. If I think he just plays Patrick Queen football and you just let him just play his style, I think he'll be okay. Secondary we looked better. It looked really better. Even though Anthony Edwards was targeted more again, he only gave up, he only allowed 44 yards and unfortunately all 4 first downs. Marlon Humphrey was targeted 7 times. Deshaun Elliott was targeted 4 times. This is what I got in my notes, and he had an interception. San Diego, I don't know what to really say. From the week before, they had a shootout with the Cleveland Browns and I said shootout. From the Cleveland Browns, and this week, nowhere to be found. That's really interesting. I don't know if it's fatigue. I don't know if it was. I don't know what it was, but yes, I mean, even though we don't have the record, we rushed for 175 yards. I'd say I feel like San Diego I thought would come back in the game was when Lamar threw the first, I think it was the first interception. Didn't happen. Then after that, just was quiet. I don't know. The fact that they went for it twice on fourth down. I know that one play he missed Justin Herbert missed Mike Williams. I think it was like on was it a deep post or deep corner route? And I think this is definitely for sure a game that they'll remember. But it was very, very disappointing, very lopsided. I guess I was really expecting a blowout. So that's really how the game looked for me for Baltimore. We play those Cincinnati Bengals, and I'll recap that, preview that, excuse me, some point during the week. What else happened? The Pittsburgh Steelers won in overtime against those Seattle Seahawks. Where is it?
I'm not going to even sit here and act like I didn't know this was coming. Or act like I know this was coming because I did it.
Russell Wilson didn't play. They blew a 14-point lead, and the last play of the game, I thought Pittsburgh forced a fumble, and there just wasn't enough time for Seattle to recover and to kick a field goal. But then, obviously you got to review it, and they added time back to the clock, and Jason Myers sent it in the overtime. Mike Tomlin, if you listen, Mike Tomlin is one of my favorite coaches. Okay. You can just look at his face, his body language, when he knows when you're not playing well or when there's a bad call. That's just me. He definitely was fuming on the sideline. You could see it on his face. I felt like Seattle had it. I felt like they could have won. T.J. Watt, he did force that fumble, and then put Chris, and that's all she said, and that was all she wrote. In the first half, Seattle mustered only 65 yards offensively as an offense.
Relationship with your children.
My God.
And Pittsburgh didn't look that great neither. But they took advantage of it. I want to play the clip. Mike Tomlin. I'm sorry. Let me find it. Oh my gosh, I gotta find this clip. It was hilarious because, like, the post-game reaction, he just looks like he doesn't want to be there. Let me find it. Hold on, y'all. One sec. Oh man. Okay, hold on. I just wanted that part. Okay, here it is. I found it. Y'all can let me know if y'all can hear that, actually. That'd be great. Watch his face. Oh my gosh, yo, I love Mike Tomlin, man. That was fun. That's funny to me. I'm sorry, because his body language really said a lot. Like it really should not have gone to overtime. That's what he's basically saying. And again, referees are not perfect, but you know, the players for years have been asking for consistency. They want reviews, the booth reviews, everything in the last 2 minutes. It had to be reviewed, and you know, unfortunately, it happened. So, there was somebody else in the game. Crap, I can't think of the guy's name. Oh my gosh, what is his name? But somebody did get hurt in this game. I think he's for the Seattle Seahawks. I can't think of his name. His name escapes me. Darrell Taylor. That's his name. Prayers up for him. There was a really like heart-stopping moment because he was motionless on the ground and would have thought I knew it was a neck injury. But then they said he had movement in all of his extremities. So what had happened was, according to Pete Carroll, you know, he got jammed pretty good. I can't remember how it happened, but it was nasty. It was a nasty hit. For him to just like lie there motionless. So, it was great to see that. I would hate to have seen that again. Last time we saw that was Ryan Shazier, and I'm glad to see that he's walking. I really wish he was playing football again. But Darrell Taylor could play next week. I'm glad that there's nothing scary, nothing bad came out of the situation. So I'm glad to see him hear that he is doing well and continue to pray for him and his family. But that's what happened Sunday night. The Buffalo Bills and the Tennessee Titans. This was actually a good Monday Night Football game. It was really the Derrick Henry show. Just remember that. Derrick Henry had 3 touchdowns. If from the start, I knew it was going to be a shootout. The first play of the game, where Derrick Henry ran for 76 yards, and then Julio Jones, that crazy bounce catch off Micah Hyde's head, that was a good catch. Josh Allen threw 3 touchdowns, and then the remembrance of the Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Patriots. Dawson Knox throwing a 2-point conversion on Josh Allen. The fourth quarter, that's when it really got really interesting. It was 31-24. Titans came back. They had to drop the field goal. We came 31-27. And then Derrick Henry scored again, make it 34-31. The last drive of the game, Isaiah McKenzie, he definitely had I thought it was a touchdown. And then, obviously, the referee, Anthony, was good, man. Got called back for a holding call.
Relationship with your children.
my God.
And then, they came on the field, and he hit Emmanuel Sanders for 31 yards. Then Zach Moss had a catch for 12, and that put him. Then he threw it past to Gabriel Davis, and they were at Tennessee's 12. And for some reason, I thought Josh Allen had the first down because it was inside the 5-yard line. Yes, he tried to leap or jump over, but he was just a half a yard short. And then Sean McDermott instead of just taking the three, going to overtime, you went for it. I just either way, I can't get mad at him for that. I would have just taken the three and then going to overtime, but I would not have taken that risk when you got a running back like Derrick Henry. Was good. Anything? Congratulations on the 100 subs. I hit 100 subs. Hold on, really? I did. Yes, I did. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. That happened. But it was an overall great game. Derrick Henry, Stephon Diggs, Dawson Knox helped me get my third straight win in fantasy football. Thank God for that. Even though Justin Herbert and Lamar Jackson didn't have a great week, that Derek Carr did. And the Buffalo Bills defense came through for me as well. Yes, I appreciate you. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Much appreciated. Thank you for the love and the support. Well, that's what happened this week in football. Y'all let me know what y'all think with y'all teams. How do you think your teams did this week? As far as the baseball recap goes, I'm going to reach out to Nick Rosario. We got going to recap some of the games. It was a good game. One lopsided last night with the Boston Red Sox versus the Houston Astros. That's going to be a shootout. I think that series is going to go to Game 7. Guaranteed. The Atlanta Braves had a chance to go 3-0 today, but because the guy you just saw on your screen on live TV said the Atlanta Braves are going to win the World Series, and he guaranteed it. They lost in the eighth. They blew it in the eighth inning, and the Dodgers won. So now the Atlanta's up 2-1. And now I'm afraid. I still think the Atlanta Braves are going to win the series. I'm not going to. They're going to win this series, guaranteed. But the World Series, I'm not going to go that far. So be on the lookout for that with Nick Rosario. We get him on here to talk baseball for sure. Around the NBA, oh my gosh! So, as you already know, this is the 75th season of the NBA. 75 years. Wow. So much has changed in the game. And I think we got to take this opportunity to appreciate those and what they've done for the game. As far as, like Will Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Bob Cousy, John Havlicek, Brad Auerbach, Alvin Hayes, Wes Unseld Sr., guys like that, and not just on the court, but off the court as well. The NBA, from where it started to where it is now, I think each generation has put a big part in the fundamental change that is trying to make the world a better place and basketball grow around the world. And as a fan, I'm really glad to be a part of it and seeing the greatness. I didn't get a chance to see these guys, a lot of these guys, like Bill Russell and them, but, my dad and grandfathers, uncles got to tell me great stories about these guys. And there was actually a video on Twitter with 4K, Wilt Chamberlain. I'm like, wow, this guy was dominant. It was amazing to see that in 4K. But I'm going to start off with the Washington Wizards versus those Toronto Raptors. We play Wednesday. We play tomorrow, 7:30. We're in Toronto. Couple things already not looking good. Bradley Beal is a game-time decision. Cassius Winston is a game-time decision. Rory Hashimura is not going to play. Non-related injury from what I saw in the injury report. And Thomas Bryant still recovering from the injury. For Raptors, Pascal Siakam's not playing. You got someone named Yada Wannabe. He's not playing. And Chris Buescher's not playing. I'm actually kind of excited for this year for the Wizards. I actually am. We got a new head coach in Wes Unseld Jr. I think the expectations are a little bit much. I think we need to have some realistic goals. One of the things that needed to be addressed was defense. And what I've heard from Coach Wes Unseld Jr. is that that's something that's going to be instilled. That's going to be a heavy focus. Hashimura will probably be out for a couple games. So, I mean, you could probably I don't know what that lineup will look like, but I think the biggest key for Washington gave Daniel Guilford a 3-year extension, which I liked. He definitely stepped up. Big asset, when Thomas Bryant went down last year. I would have liked to see Alex Lynn stay, but I'd like to have both of them, honestly. He's definitely taken over that starter role. We don't know what Thomas Bryant will look like when he comes back. Me personally, I think he was playing decently, but I just didn't see it. Maybe I could be wrong. I think the first game everyone's getting adjusted to new teammates' chemistry. Toronto won't have Kyle Lowry, so I think it's going to be a decent game. I'm going to look along the lines of Washington 90, Toronto 86.
Guaranteed.
I can't believe I'm going to talk about this guy again. Ben Simmons.
Relationship with your
Oh my God.
I'm not going to even sit here and act like I didn't know this was coming. Or act like I know this was coming because I did it.
Ben Simmons was fined $1.4 million because his absence from the preseason games. That's not including team fines, missed practices, on-court workouts, and meetings, and he has not earned any money since returning to the team on the 11th of this month of October. And then on top of that, to really make matters worse, he was sent home. Doc Rivers, asked him to participate in a drill. Ben, said, no, I'm good. I'm not doing that. And, Doc said, you know what? Just go home. So, I really think this is getting really disgusting, honestly and truthfully. I've been watching you since season 1. Why don't I have a moderator? You got to earn that, bro. You got to earn that. Luka Doncic isn't even top 100. Not yet. They're just, it's adding on. I'll go over that. I'll go over that. So back to Ben Simmons. Joel Embiid, pretty much. I'm going to share I'm going to share this so y'all can see it. Enough's enough, honestly and truthfully, with it, because it's just getting bad, honestly and truthfully. The day by day, week by week, it goes with him. So this is what Joel Embiid had to say. Hold on. Let me share it again. It didn't do that right. I would have easily said Ben Simmons is top 10 of all time. I don't know about that. Okay, so this was Joel Embiid in practice, after the practice, and this is what he pretty much had to say about Ben Simmons. I really don't know what else to really say. about Ben Simmons at this point. It's not hard. It's not easy. I just don't understand what's it going to take for a guy. You got to learn how to shoot the ball. He has all the other skills. And I just really think, honestly and truthfully, this is a mess. You gotta hold him accountable. Say what you want. The team drafted him, yes, but when we're now going into now year 5, year 6, and the guy still is not obviously feeling some kind of way. I think first and foremost, when you say to yourself, "I'm not going to even participate in this drill. I'm just here so I don't get fined." I think that's a slap in the face to your teammates. I think it's a slap in the face to the organization, more importantly, the fans. And again, the more Ben Simmons does this, the more he hurts his trade value. And it's kind of funny to me that you're in that group with Rich Paul, and you don't seem to have anyone in your circle to go, "Yo, you ruining, you kind of hurting yourself," because again, they like to bully the teams to go to a certain location. Look at Los Angeles with Anthony Davis. I mean, there were better deals on the table than Los Angeles, in my personal opinion. And that just didn't happen. So with Ben Simmons, I really just don't know what else it's going to take for him to understand, because he's just going to continue to hurt himself. I just think Philadelphia just needs to just trade him. They got to get a player like a CJ McCollum, maybe like a Bradley Beal, somebody. I just think the relationship with Philadelphia and Ben Simmons, it's just to the point. This is just getting ridiculous. It really is. I appreciate Joel Embiid trying to be. Yeah, exactly. I don't know where he's going to go, and he should, and trying to be optimistic for sure. Joel Embiid, I give him the credit, but this is where Joel Embiid has to step up, and he has to say, "Look, I'm the best player on this team. Okay, Doc Rivers, Daryl Morey, Elton Brand, y'all got to figure that out. I ain't got time to be focusing on this nonsense. We're here to try to win a championship. This is unprofessional to the max." I agree. I definitely agree, Cameron. Welcome. What's going on, bro? It's going to have, at some point, they're just going to have to just figure, the relationship is just not going to work. I think they have thrown Brett Brown under the bus. Jimmy Butler left because of the situation, and then Doc Rivers all last year, and took Hendricks, and it is kind of unprofessional because you choosing to sit out practices, and even coming into the practice today, he had a cell phone in his pocket, like right there. And then you're reluctant. Then you go, "Well, I'm not going to participate in that in these drills." That's unprofessional. That's not cool. You get paid to do that kind of stuff, and I think that just shows, again, the selfishness and it's ridiculous. But I'm going to continue to just call it out, and that's why I just don't understand. Ben Simmons is just a good player. I just don't understand. What's it going to take for him to go from here to here. Yes, exactly. So, y'all let me know your thoughts on Ben Simmons, because this is just getting ridiculous minute by minute. The first 25 of the top 75 NBA players was released. I'm going to read that list off to you guys. So, Hal Greer, Dirk Nowitzki, Bob Pettit, Oscar Robinson, Bill Russell, Kevin Durant, Giannis, Alvin Hayes, Jerry Lucas, Willis Reed, James Harden, Nate Archibald, Hakeem Olajuwon, Dave Cowens, Bob Cousy, George Mikan, Kevin McHale, John Stockton, Steve Nash, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Charles Barkley, Julius Erving, George Gervin, Moses Malone, and David Robinson. The next 25 will be announced on Wednesday on ESPN's NBA Today, and the last 25 will be revealed on the NBA Tip-Off Thursday. A jump shot, that's all. Trying to be a great player, has to be a consistent jump shotter. I agree. Hey, Michelle, good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see. I did not get any of my college football picks right. I got them all wrong. That's okay. I've hold the L. I think the only one I came closest to was. Well, I actually did get the Oklahoma versus TCU right. I did get that right. I didn't. I didn't get the Mississippi versus Tennessee. I got that wrong. Yeah, I had Tennessee winning that game, but it's all good. The last topic of the show. Yes, for sure. Thank you. I'm going to revisit. It was a really great WNBA Finals. Today, last night, the Phoenix Mercury did their exit interviews, which I kind of feel like at this point it was pointless to do. It would have been nice if they did it after the game. Diana Taurasi's interview was interesting, where she said, quote, "We've been so good at the end of the games, we thought we were going to pull it out because that's just what we do. And it didn't work out that way. I think at one point all five of us missed a layup." No, it's not all five. I think it was there's just three. So the magic slipped away from our hands pretty quickly, and reality hit. And we're pretty devastated team. Then there was talked about the door. She broke a door. Which the Chicago Sky today, they had a parade, and they definitely mocked that for sure. Where she said also in the interview there were a lot of doors in there. They were fined $10,000 by the WNBA. Players not participating in media sessions. Their CBA doesn't make any sense. It says if they participate in one, they don't have to participate in another. That doesn't make any sense. That really threw me off. I didn't realize she played through a fractured, sternum. Diana Taurasi's 39. She said she's definitely going to take the next few months and figure out when she's going to come back for her 18th year. This year she was limited to 16 games. Ankle injury, foot injuries. It was a good season for the Phoenix Mercury. Just was a better team, Chicago Sky. So probably in the next day or so, I'm just going to recap all 12 teams. What went right, what did not go right, and also too like what I'm looking forward for next year. It was actually really fun, really to talk about it in the podcast. Yeah, no, she played through that, which is amazing, which speaks a lot to her toughness. That's why she got the WNBA GOAT. So definitely gonna look out for that. But I'm back to what I was saying. It was actually fun talking about the WNBA. I know men's college basketball and women's basketball is coming up, so I definitely can't wait to talk about that. But I actually felt like, when I especially talk about the Mystics and some other teams, I kind of actually felt like an actual journalist talking about the games. It was really fun to be in Christina Williams, Spotify, Green Room, listen to them. They put the extra interviews for sure. But real quick, the reason I want to, the reason why I play that clip, if you don't know what I'm talking about, this clip I'm playing it right now. I'll show you what I mean.
Get down! Get down!
Why I play that clip, I have nothing against Coach Fangio. I don't. I just didn't agree with some of the comments that he's made. Particularly, he came out again taking shots at the Ravens. I don't know why. I'm not sure that somebody in the organization, did they say something that was disrespectful? Is he bitter that he didn't get the head coaching job? I really don't know. But I really don't, and it kind of goes into my point. I kind of want to say this was my last word. People are gonna hate. People are gonna troll. I get trolls here on the lot when I go live some of the time. The most important thing is you got to learn to tune them out. Plain and simple. People are going to say what they want. I'm going to what he said here. He said Cleveland is a great football city. The organization and fan base handle themselves with so much more class than the team that used to be there. Obviously this is after, we played them and we ran, we broke we tied the record the last few seconds of the game, but you failed to realize that you had the ball and you tried to score a garbage touchdown, which clearly, he must have selective amnesia, but that didn't hear nor there. But in saying all this, again, people are going to say what they want about you, and let them. The only person that really knows your true character and who you are is our Lord and Savior in Jesus Christ. Seriously, I'm not being funny when I say that. He sees and he watches and he judges, and it'll be dealt with accordingly. So that's why, me personally, I keep it real with you guys each and every day. Life is too short for the BS. Life is very precious. We have to, just take an opportunity to thank God and what he's done for us and for those around us. Particularly in this pandemic, it's not cool. You just don't know what a person goes through. And, you really also too get to see a person's true colors when they talk behind your back, or when you're, when they support you and when in your face, but behind closed doors, they're not going to go anywhere. And us as individuals, we just have to continue to do the work that we're put on this earth to do. Biggest thing I just want you guys to understand is respect, and also to just enjoy life and have fun, and just continue, just thank God for the many blessings that he gives you each and every day. Yes. Example, I'm pretty sure, it was not talked about now, it should be, but there was a situation in Philadelphia where this woman on a train, where people are going to work or watching this woman get raped on a train, and all looking on their phones. That's disgusting. I don't know how you can just not step in and take and stopping that from happening. But we got to really get to a place where as a society, as a community of people, Doesn't matter, white, black, Hispanic, don't matter. Where it's peace, love, and tranquility. Exactly. It's crazy. Look it up. And it was. I'm sitting there going like, well, people actually really witnessed that and did nothing. So I mean, listen, I just encourage y'all to just continue to be the leaders that you are for your families. Lift those up that you may that may be down. Just continue to just check on one another, and just take the opportunity. And Denzel Washington is one of my favorite actors. I remember a part of a speech he gave where he talked about he put his shoes under the bed. I'm just paraphrasing it, and he was on his knees. He's just prayed and thought and thanked God for what he's done for him. But I'm going to get off the soapbox on that. But yeah, with that being said, that's going to conclude episode 1 of season 4, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for helping me get to 100 subscribers. I sincerely, genuinely appreciate the love and support you've given this channel, you've given me. I would not have thought it would have gotten this far, especially with the podcast. Even with this YouTube channel, there's a lot of people I have to thank. I can't, so many names to think off the top of my head. Sean Spencer, Cameron Crump, Elliot Tinsley, Lucinda Baxter, Hendricks, Community Hendricks, Chatting with Common Sense, Ray the Boss, A. Daryl Fisher Reviews. There's so many people to thank for just supporting me and giving love to the channel. It's much appreciated. And just really just the idea of me starting this YouTube channel well over a year ago. I didn't think it would get to where it is now. And I'm glad I'm doing this. I'm doing this this is what I love to do. This is therapy. I know I'm going to have trolls and people saying ignorant things, but that let the haters hate, let them troll. Absolutely. So, again, that's going to conclude the episode. If you want to see more, considering hitting that like button, consider that subscribe button, leave your thoughts in the comments below. The topics I talked today, going to give me suggestions. Leave your suggestions in the comments below. Again, this is all about having a conversation. This is what the channel is. Let's have a conversation, different things like that. But with that being said, y'all have a good. Oh, it's almost Wednesday. But y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening. I will have the rest of season 3 uploaded on Anchor and Spotify for sure. Didn't forget that. And I'm hoping to have 3 special guests on the podcast. Thank you. Appreciate you, Hendricks. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. And by the way, what was that? A hog of was that cheese? You had what was that? That did not look appetizing. I'm sorry, it just didn't look appetizing. But no, seriously, I will have the rest of season 3 up on Anchor via Spotify, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. But I'm out. Y'all have a good night. Peace. Stay up.
First of all, listen, it's interesting about all these young guys today. They never call on us and say, hey, thanks for the kind word and tell me how great a player I am. But
one other thing, I forgot. Hedgehog cheese. That did not look like cheese to me. I'm sorry. That did not look like cheese to me. One thing, okay. I also forgot to mention that I will also in episode 2, Thursday Night Football is recap, and then I'm going to recap the Nets and the Bucks, Lakers and the Warriors game, and then also the Wizards game. So be on the tune for that for episode 2. But I'm out.
First of all, listen, it's interesting about all these young guys today. They never call on us and say, hey, thanks for the kind word and tell me how great a player I am. But when they play like crap and we call them out, we don't know what we're talking about. Listen, I'm easy to find. But I get sick of these guys complaining. These young guys, they never call us and say, when a coach is wrong, I'm going to call him out. But when players are wrong, I'm going to call them out. But listen, I'm going to criticize guys if they deserve it. And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.